This is Jason Shower coming at you live from the floor of the Extraction Expo and CBD Expo West here in Los Angeles, California. I'm here with George Stantchev, CEO of Comerg. George, what do you guys do over at Comerg?
We design and sell extraction equipment. We've been in the extraction business for over 25 years in
You're
botanical
in the right place,
space, and now in the cannabis.
All right. What space did you say you were in before?
Fragrance and flavor. So extracting terpenes or essential oils.
Okay. Have you designed equipment specifically for cannabis extraction, or are you just repurposing equipment that you use to extract other essential oils?
Well, yes, we designed this equipment especially for the cannabis field. As the fragrance field, usually it's very custom. You do all the installation and every process design custom. So in this field, we had to design strictly cannabis-related systems for extracting dry material, extracting a larger and a smaller scale.
Okay, so I know one of the things that's very unique about your technology is that you are not using any of the same techniques or solvents that most of the other folks in the industry are using. Tell us a little bit about your unique approach.
Okay, so in the past we designed systems with pretty much any solvent out there, with ethanol, hexane, superheated water, steam distillation. And when 7 years ago we looked into that cannabis field, we looked through abilities of every solvent to extract most efficient cannabinoids. And we figured that utilizing R134A, or also known as Freon, is one of the most efficient ways to extract cannabis.
Yeah, I actually heard, my first experience with one of these mass media shows was at Concentration 2019. And there was a gentleman on stage, I don't remember who exactly it was, that was talking about the efficacy of R134A in cannabis extraction. And I remember double taking at that, thinking that sounded very strange from anything that I knew of. So do you get that response a lot from people that you tell you're using essentially refrigerant?
Well, people doesn't know much about R134A. They think it's poison or it's not good for human health, but actually it's in inhalers for asthma. It's been approved from FDA for extraction since 2001 and is completely safe. It's a GRAS rated, and it's very well accepted by the Fragrance and Flavor Society, flavoring especially.
Okay, so how does R134A work differently than the other solvents that are out there? I mean, there's kind of the big three, right? So how does R134A fall into that?
Well, that's a very long conversation, but I'll try to tell it in a few words. Literally, similar extract similar. You've heard about polar, non-polar solvents, and usually the oil compounds are non-polar. So to extract a non-polar, you are looking for extract them with non-polar solvents. And these non-polar solvents are usually hexane, butane, freon, which freon actually is hydrocarbon, but fluorinated hydrocarbon, very close to the general hydrocarbons, but non-flammable. So in general, we promoted a solvent that behaves like CO2 and doesn't need to be purged from the final extract, as it's been not there. Solvent that doesn't need to require mineralization of the extract, as called ethanol, and a hydrocarbon that extracts literally only the oils without pulling the waxes and lipids.
It seems like you're touching on the best of all of the different extraction styles with one extraction solvent.
Exactly. We try to combine all the benefits in one. That
seems great. How come there aren't more companies doing this right now? Is it a patent thing? Is it just people being uneducated or scared of the solvent? What do you think it is?
Well, that's a hard question to answer. But usually, people, they have some stigma because it's a chemical. It sounds like chemical and it looks like chemical, but actually it's geniusly designed that it doesn't really have any negative effects on neither the plant, neither the human being. I would say that people mostly are looking at what others are using and what the standard in this industry is set up by pharma. And that's why they're going after these three other methods, not looking into alternatives that actually can save them much more money into long term.
Understood. So, talk to me a little bit about the process of extracting with R134A. Do you agitate it in a centrifuge? Do you run it through a column? What is it most closely related to from the common extraction techniques that most listeners will know now?
The process is very simple. Actually, it's very similar to the butane extraction, but it can be easily automated and easily scaled up to very high volumes. You actually introduce the material with the solvent, which actually refrigerant. That's the best property of the refrigerant, that it changes phase very easily. It's in a liquid phase when it is at room temperature, and it's a gas phase when it is heated up to over 30-40 degrees C. So it's very easy to be liquefied and separated from the so-called micellar, the mixture of solvent and oils.
So with your process, do you sell just an extraction machine? Do you sell extraction and solvent recovery? Is it a full suite? What is your product that you guys are selling?
We sell a complete device which has everything built in there. It has 99% recovery of the solvent, and we even deliver it with the solvent. So the only need that you need to do is plug it to the power. And for the smallest machine, the 20-liter machine, it's actually 2,000 watt. It's very power efficient device, and it has already in there the extraction, the separation, and the recovery vessels built in.
What are the temperatures like on this machine when you're running it?
We extract at room temperature, and that's the most important thing in this method of extraction, because you introduce the material, you can set it up to extract anywhere 20, 25, 30, 35 C, and with each temperature level you get different consistency. It's like a slicing down the material, and all happens at room temperature, which means we leave the even the enzymes unbroken into the extract, and everything transfers into the oil from the plant in the most natural form without any degradation.
So do you pick up any chlorophylls or anything like that?
No, we don't, and that's one of the reasons why we choose Freon, because we kind of come from the front door. We extract only what we need, and the plant doesn't even change color after that. While if you use any of the flammable solvents like ethanol or hexane, you come up with crude, and you have to winterize that crude in order to make a very pure extract.
So then you're not picking up any fats, waxes, or lipids or any of that?
Correct.
Okay. What does your final extract look like after you're done running the process?
So the final extract, it's very strain specific. So it carries the profile, the terpene profile of the original plant, cannabinoid profile of the original plant, and the colors that the actual flower carries. So let's say the glue strains will penetrate into the darker color, but lemon and strains will let the extract to have lighter color.
Okay. And then when you're finished with this extract, does it often go to distillation? Can you put it into a cartridge as is? Like how is your extract typically consumed after it's finished?
The best form that our extract can be consumed is as a live resin. We can extract fresh, wet material, or fresh cured material, and you can get a very high terpene profile with a very light cannabinoid profile, which is perfect for vaping. It's not too intense, and it's very flavored. Also, you can decap the material and do a full spectrum run, as we call it. that has very high concentration of cannabinoids, around 80%, and probably around 1 to 5% terps. And this is good for any edibles or moving to next phase, which is distillation and making a distillate out of it.
So with your process being run at room temperature, theoretically, the material shouldn't be exposed to temperatures that would decarboxylate it. So you're extracting THCA, is that correct? Or CBDA?
Well, with the first phase, the live resin, yes. The live resin is the most precious part we pull from the plant. That's the natural room temperature extracted resin. And as we know, this industry is looking also for converted material. So that's how we also suggest this, that we can convert and extract the material of the second phase.
So then you would put it into a reactor or something to that effect.
Correct.
To decarb it and then do whatever.
A vacuum oven, and within an hour, it's
Gotcha.
get decarboxylated without any change of flavor or loss of terps.
If you do have, let's say it's THCA, if that's what you're working with after a run, have you experimented with making diamonds or some of these other concentrates that you can make with, say, a butane extraction?
I know that some of our customers made those already. We, as extraction company, don't have a THC license on our own to do a lot of experiments, but we keep in touch with our customers, and we've seen beautiful products made.
That's fantastic. That's super interesting. It's not every day that you get to actually talk about, I guess it's not new, but newer to the scene forms of extraction. And it's at expos like this that get me excited to see what else is out there. So I appreciate you coming on the show. George Stantchev, CEO of Comerg. Thanks for coming on the Modern Extractor.
Thank you, guys.